Thanks for joining us for the Member xCite presentation. The Member xCite presentation is informative, interesting to the audience, and showcases the strengths of the presenter as an entrepreneur and their area of expertise. It's not a sales pitch, it's a 10-minute educational and insightful exploration into what they do. And of course, it's exciting.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our xCite presenter today, Mustafa Marvi from MYM Accounting and Business Consultancy, to present to us on the role of real-time data in the success of a business. Real-time data has become a strategic priority for organizations to survive in this ever-changing competitive landscape. You can no longer rely on stale data presented to you at the end of the month. With real-time data, you can get a snapshot of your entire business, spot mistakes, and make strategic decisions at the right time. This also allows you to keep a very close eye on your cash and improve the accuracy of your business predictions, forecasts, and goals. Mustafa is originally from Pakistan, moved to Dublin, Ireland when he was 19, did his bachelor's degree and moved to Australia in 2005. After doing his master's from University of Sydney, he has been working in the accounting and finance industry since the last 13 years. He is also a CPA. Mustafa is the director of MYM Accounting and Business Consultancy, based in Sydney. He offers his services as a virtual CFO to small to medium-sized businesses and startups. He is passionate about helping business owners make informed decisions by making them truly understand where their business currently stands and what needs to be done to take them to the next level. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mustafa Marvi.
The topic which I've chosen for today is the role of real-time data in the success of a business. Now, it's a very important topic across the organization, and it holds a lot of different meanings to different people in the organization. So what I wanted to do today was to look at it from an accounting lens, and I'll explain to you a bit later in the presentation. One second. So what I wanted to start with is what really is real-time data. So real-time data is information that is delivered immediately after it's collected. For example, you buy a smart TV from a store in Newcastle, and as soon as the transaction is done, there's a lot of information that sort of passes through the accounting system. For example, what model did you buy, and what price did you pay? Did you get a warranty with it? What was the timing of the sale? Did you buy it on the weekend? Did you buy it during the weekday? Was it a public holiday? The location, payroll information, did you buy it from a casual or a full-timer? Who is your best-selling salesperson for that day? And also the demographics of the customer who bought the TV. Now, all this information, I've worked in retail for a long time while I was in uni as well, is very important for the success of a company and how it sort of flows in and how decisions are made on that. Building on that, what I wanted to talk to you about is having all that information, how do we sort of lead towards building a profit and loss or the financials for the month? Now, if you see the picture on the right, that's exactly how accountants see month end. It's a war to them. They're preparing for it. So what I wanted to discuss was the sins of the past. And what I mean by that is quite often what accountants do is they become historians. And what I mean by that is, for example, we are in August right now. It's the 12th of August, but I can guarantee you there are so many accountants all over the world trying to finish the month end for July. But it's already 12 days have gone by for the whole month of July. And so what we're doing, basically accountants are doing, is they're writing history. So instead of going forward and being proactive and writing about the future, what they're doing is they're so stuck to the slow month-end reporting process, doing high, all your, spring cleaning, and processing all your accounts payable invoices the month-end, and so much attention to detail that, by the time they finish that report, it's been too late and the data is stale, If you look from a flip side, if you speak about small businesses, and given the restraint they have, the single owner, has limited amount of resources. What sometimes they do is they might hire a bookkeeper or admin clerk or a receptionist who sort of looks after their accounts, does processing once or twice a month, or they might hire a tax accountant, and all he or she is doing is after every 3 months or monthly they're filing their GST or an income tax return. But what has happened is all that time has gone by and no one is actually looking at the accounts. No one is looking at that data, real-time data, what's happening on a weekly basis, daily basis, or a monthly basis. And what's that's happening is there's no time for advisory. There's no time to react. And all along, it's a cycle which continues on. Is you always being reactive to the market situation and reactive to what has happened in the past. Other things which sort of slow down the whole progress of real-time data is Excel. Now, I love Excel. I build a lot of spreadsheets, but what happens is it's you cannot consider it as a backbone of your business or your finance. Just to give an example, typically what accountants do is once a profit and loss is ready, they will dump it into Excel. They'll compare it with budgets. They will look at variances. They will look at ratio analysis, and they spend so much time. Whereas you can upload the entire budget into your accounting system, and with the click of a button, it will compare your actuals to budget, and it will tell you, the system will tell you how you progressed in a month. And the where we're living at this age is the whole technology has revolutionized accounting, and we're into a space of cloud accounting. And traditional accounting, it's seen as threat, because what's happening is the power is shifting. Accountants and bookkeepers, and I'm an accountant, don't get me wrong, that we used to take pride in our work, and doing complex journal entries and everything. But right now, the system does everything for you, so it becomes really easy. Um, Moving on, so how do you get real-time data? Now, guys, this is a very simplistic and layman terms of going through this. Is a very detailed. There's a lot of topics you can sort of speak for hours about it. But as my friend Morpheus says in Matrix, there's a glitch, and with the help of Morpheus and accountants, you can fix that glitch. And the biggest glitch that needs to be fixed is the management buy-in, because what happens is you got to change the mindset of an organization, because we are so used to the department managers, the salespeople, the marketing people giving you all the information at month end. So you really need to have a cultural shift of the organization, of the finance team, the people in your team, that this is like, we cannot do this anymore, especially with the COVID and the way the economy is going. You got to be really, really good at providing that information to the business owner. And the way you do it, and I'll just quickly run through some of the steps, is the rise of cloud accounting, like softwares like Xero or Mayo, Essentials Online, or QuickBooks. Your information, you can retrieve it and store it and access it from anywhere you want. Now, just to give an example, back many moons ago, when I started my accounting career, I used to get a bank statement by mail. I used to photocopy that, give it to the accounts payable, give it to the accounts receivable, give it to the accountants, and we used to spend hours going to the bank. Now, what has happened with softwares like, for example, Xero, you can have bank feeds, and the bank feeds go straight into your accounting system, and you can do a reconciliation in 5 minutes, depending on the number of transactions. What used to take you hours, you can do it very, very quickly. And by doing that, and by reconciling every day, what is happening is you have your information up to date. You know who, and that leads to me the whole invoicing and customer collection. You are selling, and once you're invoicing, doing that bank reconciliation, all your balance sheet reconciliation, it's giving you that important update about your cash. What's happening to your cash. Is you've sold 10 products to someone, is the cash coming in? Are the customers paying you properly? Have they messed up the payments? And same way, and this is again very important in COVID situation, where cash is right now really, really tight across all businesses. Supplier invoices, how much are you spending? Are you overspending on something? Have you overpaid someone? Just to give you an example, your ATO liabilities and stuff, if you know what your ATO liabilities are, what GST, right now in COVID situation, you can bring the ATO and go on a payment plan. You don't have to pay all that money, and you can pay them in sequence. That sort of leads towards the whole power of dashboard reporting, and if you sort of have your accounts updated, you can have really amazing dashboards in your accounting software. And I look after a software company, and when I say about dashboard, like what we do is we present the numbers to the management. How many customers have renewed, how many customers have paid, are there any churns, has there been any contraction in your contracts? Where are your sales? You compare it with your last year, your last quarter. So no longer you need to do all of this in Excel, or by a click of a button, it refreshes, and there's some really nice dashboards in your accounting system, which will give you a complete snapshot of where your business stands. And I would also go further than that, that, you give access to your key stakeholders in the organization. So the account system is no longer limited to an accountant. You give it to your sales manager, you give it to your marketing manager, you give it to the business owner, and tell them to log in and look at your KPIs, look at where your cash is, and who you owe the money to. So that's how you sort of go into the real-time accounting, getting the real-time data. Now, I'll quickly wrap up. The advantages of real-time data is you get a high level of financial visibility. It gives you a snapshot of where you exactly stand. And based on that, you can make some really good informed decisions. If you are expecting a rock solid July month and something is not going well, you still have that ability to change something. You can sit down, you can speak to your salespeople, you can speak to your marketing people, you can stop spending money if you think you're running out of cash. But you can only do that once you have that information handy. If you can't wait for the month end, 2 weeks after your month end is finished, to see how you did for a month. Another important factor, which sort of is to detect frauds and errors very fast. Because if you're looking at your accounts every day, not saving the reconciliations till the end of the month, you have a very high chance that you can pick up if you have done an overpayment to someone, if there's a fraud happening in your organization. And also, point number 4, I think, is extremely important and very close to me as well, is that it improves the accuracy of business predictions, your forecast. And I would even go as far as to say that even a small coffee shop owner should somehow know, or should know, what his sort of break-even points are. How much is he going to make in a month? And that rough estimation, when you have that and you just keep comparing it with your actuals, and that sort of triggers you to think, oh, look, I'm not progressing. I should have, by June half year, I should have been X amount of sales, X amount of profit. But look, this is where I stand. And again, in the COVID situation, again, I keep mentioning this is very important to me, is cash. Because if you have your numbers, you know how you're selling, you know who is paying to you. Cash is the king. And based on that, it will give you those early warning signs that this is problems are coming up, and this is time to stop, think, and sort of change whatever you have to change. So to wrap it up, so what has happened is this has given the rise of the whole business advisor. Accountants are no longer seen as those people just in a corner sitting away, keying in, invoicing and everything. It's all about how do you add value. It's all about advisory work, and so you're no longer looking at the history, but you're actually looking at the future. And based on the history and the real-time data you have, you are sort of predicting what will happen in your business. And with the rise of automation and cloud accounting softwares, just to give an example, I was doing some research. There's 700 apps you can buy from a Zero store, which you can sort of sync with your accounting software, expense management, project accounting, budgeting, forecasting, which you can sort of integrate with your Zero. Now, just to give an idea, Zero is only a basic package of $50 a month. It's very, very reasonable. And you can buy those apps and you can really get a handle of your finances. Software like HubDocs, they turn paperwork into data. And then I've seen the trend now shifting is the whole outsourcing or the virtual CFOs. And what's happening is, like, say, if you hire a virtual CFO, you don't need to give me a space to sit. You don't need to give me a computer. You don't need to pay me my annual leave. You will only pay me for what I need. So I can come in at month end, or virtual CFOs or virtual assistants. They come in and they do their job. They have that expertise, the knowledge, and they can look at your business and they can guide you. And trust me on this, no business is too small to hire like a virtual CFO or a finance manager and stuff. And then the last thing is artificial intelligence. It's rule-based accounting. People who have used Zero, they'll know that, the software is so intuitive, and based on what you are doing on a monthly basis, you can have recurring invoices, you can have your bank reconciliation based on rules and everything. So that really sort of expedites the whole thing. So yeah, in a nutshell, this is what I wanted to cover. So it took an accountant to catch Al Capone. So be an accountant with a conviction. So the message here is, you got to know your business. You got to know who you're working with, what the business needs, and sort of provide them with the guidance and the advice, and especially in this uncertain time, and we don't know when we're going to come out of this COVID situation. So yes, that's me in a nutshell. And look, if you guys have any questions, or feel free to ask, and I'm happy to answer.
Yeah, fantastic. Awesome. Thank you very much. That was great, Mustafa. Thank you very much. And is there any questions at all from anybody? If you've got some questions, you can certainly pop that, do the raise hand button on the participant bar, or just wave your hands frantically at me and I'll, I'll find you as well. Excellent. And I can't recommend enough that people are operating with a cloud-based accounting system these days. It's so cost effective. Yeah, I know that Mustafa was talking about Xero there. We're big fans of QuickBooks, given they're one of our partners with BX as well. And same really, but different with QuickBooks and Xero. And we just launched pre-end of financial year an offer if anyone wants to still take advantage of it with a 50% off deal and nothing to pay till the end of October. So if you're interested in kicking on, and finding out more about how to take that, I'm certainly happy to hook you up, send me a message, and I'll have a chat with you about connecting you up with QuickBooks on that deal as well. Any questions? I'm sort of talking along here, waiting for some questions, but it looks like you must have been very comprehensive there, Mustafa. So put your hands together one more time for Mustafa. Great presentation.